Does that work? That works. Well, good morning, everyone. It's actually a few days after our first video that we put out on this fence here. What did I call it? Project Ram-Catraz, Alcatraz for Rams. It's just been so busy trying to crank these fences all out here that we didn't video a lot. I think there's a bit of a video. I'll just throw it in after this here.
Almost ready.
Almost ready. Rodney ready.
Is Rodney ready? And
Not Ram ready.
finishing it up in a thunderstorm.
Ready tomorrow.
Oh, come on, woman. How tired are you? Missed the fence entirely?
I hit the fence, just missed the wire.
I'm just trying to get this wrapped here.
There's the sheepies.
Oh, you see
I
them?
don't know if you can see them. Here they are. Across the easement, there's Brown Dog.
I am just undoing these to wrap the wire to itself. And we don't staple the ends unless we have to hold the wire up or down to tie it off. But you don't have to staple the ends if you do this, because the wire is going to hold itself. So that's what I'm doing. They're almost there.
Oh,
They're
just getting the bottoms.
Faster than me.
Just getting the bottoms for Brian.
Oh, can't let the old man get to the ground.
No, it's too hard on him. He's not that flexible. There. We got some mountain dorpers happening over there.
Oh, I guess they won't show up.
Oh,
Sheep are coming back. The sheep.
They're waiting for the big daddies to come out here.
Yeah. A good thing this is a nice sturdy fence, because the big daddies will see that. And they'll be all over this fence. Oh, that was a terrible wrap. Well, it's not terrible, it just doesn't look pretty. Let's try and get that on the outside so it's not with the sheep. It's no worse than barbed wire. Or I'll leave it. Okay. I wanted it done by Saturday, and it's going to nearly be done by Saturday. The boys won't be out by Saturday, but it'll be done by Saturday. With lots of help, we did it.
Mountain dorpers.
Huh?
Mountain dorpers.
That's so good. Is that flour on the top? Flour. We're looking for the shrubberies now. We could throw them in this thing for a week and they'd mow all these shrubberies down.
The boys get the shrubberies.
Oh, the boys get the shrubberies. Almost done. That's it. Stapled in. Okay.
3 sides done.
Right, I just speed that up.
Wonderful.
3 sides done. 1 side with barbed wire anyways. That's just a little too long, so. Crazies.
Sheepies.
I'll just throw the rest in the bucket of the tractor, I guess. And just park it over here somewhere. Oh, I could park it out back because that's where the roll is.
And you're going to be needing the staples along here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. Just what I think we'll do is we'll just throw everything into the bucket of the tractor, and I'll drive the tractor to the far corner.
Oh, yeah.
And then that way I can grab the roll that's at the front, or that's at that end out there. Oh. And then I can just come along this area here. And lay the roll out at the top of this corner. Come on.
You're just gonna go down to the brace and then from the brace down.
From the brace down, yeah. Because in that way, where the heck is the barbed wire stick? Yeah, throw all that in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go from this corner down to the brace, and then I think from the other corner up to the brace, because there's nowhere for me to pull the wire straight through like we got right here. Because I've got these things at either end, so we can't pull the wire straight through, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's the right way to roll them,
Yeah, as long as I start from the top down,
yeah.
so as long as I start from up here and roll it that way, it'll roll the right direction.
Yeah, exactly.
So then that way,
Figure that out. But
we'll just roll that out, and then I'll just staple it up quickly, like not even really tension it. I might just staple it up so the boys can at least be out for a day. And then come back and work on it in another few days.
yeah.
Take a break.
That's got that brand new barbed wire fence along there.
It's got that new barbed wire fence, and the only ones that were going through it were the lambs. It's just a matter of like the little guys from the mums.
Yeah.
The bigger sheep weren't going through it, but it's just the coyotes too, right? So
Yeah.
we've got Den right there, but maybe Glenn just shot it today, or Flo just shot it. Probably Flo. She's got a hate on for them more than we do.
Who knows? Somebody shot it.
Yep.
And it was just one, so I think he got it. So, or she got it. They got it.
They got it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Almost done. Waiting on me now.
No, this was a short section. They only had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only had 7 to do, and there's 2 of them. So
yeah.
there's only 1 of you. So
And it's also tying these. Takes a long time. So good enough. There we go.
and the sheepies have decided to head back around. So sheepies are gone.
Mom and Dad came up and helped, and it's the only reason we got as much done as we did, and we actually got as far as I'd hoped to get. There's just that fence right there that we have to finish, putting the wire up and down, but that's kind of what I expected. When I last left you, this fence here we were putting in, and we had some issues on it. It took some outside help to remember why I put this here. What I was going to do is run the wire from that end all the way down to here, and then wrap it around here as I tensioned it, and then from this end here we'd wrap the wire and go that way. That way we're only pulling a couple 100 pounds that way and a couple 100 pounds this way. We're not pulling the combined weight and then trying to tension it at the same time. But what we did is we ended up putting another board. We made another one and clamped it onto here, and then yanked this way off of that post, and then that took all this tension up, and then we used the tractor at that end and picked it up and pulled it there. Some of the problem we did run into was just by putting the post on here and trying to tension it, we kind of stretched the wire a little bit. And then the bottom wire all the way down on every roll seems a little bit loose. I can barely take the tension out of that, even though I've got these almost ready to break. I think that's by design, because there's no reason why. I think it's just to contour to the ground so you can pull it in and out if there's a rise. What we'll do, if there's a spot sort of here, the wire is actually a little bit higher, so the bottom wire's here and the ground is here, so it kind of comes up and down. We'll just throw some rocks in there because we got rock piles everywhere. Okay. Right there. So anyways, I'm going to take you on a walk around here, and I'll show you what we've done here and what the plan is. I was hoping to have the rams out here on Saturday, But Saturday we just got the fence finished, so I'm going to call that a win. We were working through a thunderstorm and rainstorm pretty much every day we were working. But at least it wasn't, I mean, it's 9 o'clock now and it's already like 30 degrees out, so it's going to be a cooker. We're just going to finish that fence at the back there. And the rams are coming out tonight when Carrie gets home. She's just at an eye appointment there, getting her eyes checked out. So while she's off at that, we're just going to crank this out. And yeah, I did take a couple days off for a little bit there, just because this was such a hard push. There was no way I could even do anything. So what we'll have to do later today is grab the trailer, a stock trailer, go grab the boys. We'll truck them out to the front here. We'll set up their pen here while they're grazing. Carrie's gonna grab Rodney when I take the trailer out, and I'll back the trailer in right over in this corner, right, oh, focus right there. We're gonna back the trailer there. And this whole corner here is where we're gonna put the boys. We were gonna stick them way up at that middle section there, but this is just nice and open right here to work. I know there's a slash pile in the middle of it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put the rams down here. Rodney, their water trough here, we got that pallet out. So we're going to take a bunch of pallets and we're going to set them up, and then we'll take the one water tank we have and fill it full and run a hose into the water right there. We also have to move all this equipment out of the way. I think we'll just stick it right down there on that side. But yeah, let's just do a walk here. These shorter sections went quite a bit better. They tensioned up a lot nicer. So yeah, we'll just do a walk here. So there's that section there. And then we had to cut these braces here. You can sort of see there's a tree top right there. There's a tree top right there. The rams will clear that all up. You can see where we had to debark all those right there. But this is all 10-foot spaced here. Everywhere along here, except for that back fence, is 10-foot spacing. So the wire sits nice and low and tight and secure to the ground. So I'll just show you here. This is where we started the rolls here. So you can see on how we wrap everything, there's not a staple on this post here. This wrap here all the way up and down is tight enough to hold that wire till you tension it. The only things that have staples are these posts that are all the way down the middle. And as you can see, you put your staples at an angle so that you pinch the grain between them, and then you leave your staples loose. Never pinch this wire when you put the staples in at all. You want that to float. So that's what Mom and Dad and Carrie did all the stapling while I was so we'd wrap this end and pull it that way. I think you saw it on the other video. And then while I was tightening up that end, or wrapping that end over there, they would come through and nail all these, so it went super quick. Right, so, oh yeah, and then there's a splice there. But you can see here, this was done up tight, right here, like these ones. But the problem is because I think they put so much slack in these bottom wires, that's where the slack got took up. So, that's why I'm thinking that this bottom wire was intentionally left loose for ground that doesn't have this kind of work put into it. Like, we really want it graded out smooth. So anyways, off we go again. So we get to this point here and we had to take this tree down here. It was the last one left on this parcel B easement all the way down. It was just in the way of trying to get the work done right here and trying to tension with the tractor. Same with these two aspens here. We'll truck that out to our wood pile out front, and we'll either use that as like a construction material, fence post, or some sort of building. Like, we could use that section there probably for a post for a building. That in there could probably be a rail. So, and then whatever doesn't get used, we'll use it as firewood. These got taken down so we could get the tractor in here to tighten this all out. So the boys will love this, and we'll have to clean it out one day. That's just a tree somebody knocked over when they were snow plowing, because they used to come straight through our fences to push the snow, or where our fences are now to plow snow. You saw there's only one splice up there. Ooh. So what we do is we try and measure out, and we do say this one here was 60 feet. So we'd have 60 feet left on a roll way at the back. Well, we'd bring it to this section to use it here. So we could do, I think this whole fence only has 3 splices. There'll be 4 by the time we're done. So it's just minimizing the amount of extra work if we just got to come up to this end and put it in here. That's sort of like this roll here from that splice to here had enough to do this section here, and then there's another one way up at the top and down. So that's just sort of what you have to think of, unless you want to add splice here, splice. So anyways, we're out to here. We need to take this reflector and stick it up on that post right here. So we'll be screwing that to the back side of this post so that people can see that there's a fence and try not to hit it. Off we go. So this is where the original intended area for the rams was to be. We've cleared this all out and opened this up. I've put a bunch of fill down because this is so wet in here. And then we'll do our spoke grazing pattern out of this area. We're not going to do the rotational grazing right now. Our biggest plan, we don't have power back here, so we can't run the electric out from here. So we're going to wait. We want to get the other side of parcel B and the other side of parcel A over there finished before we bring power up along that side, and then we'll cut across underneath the easement. I think parcel B right there, we'll cut across that to this side to electrify this side. Our goal is just to get the rams out on this. What they will do is really take a lot of these shrubs down right now if we just let them go nuts in here, and then Rodney will eat some of the grass. Anyway, so yeah, this will be the rams area, and what we'll do is, like that log we cut down, we'll just bark that out and we'll make a nice rail and wire fence inside of here for the boys with a nice little log, like lean-to type enclosure. I think we'll close it up in case there's predators out here, then we can at least close them into a nice secure area. But for starters, a log rail fence all the way around this open area, and then we'll do our star pattern out from here. So that's pretty much it, and then we'll have their water in here and whatnot. But for now, we will have 20 extra feet of wire by the time we're finished. So that 20 extra feet, we're just going to staple it across here instead of buying a gate right now. You can see, as you can see on here, there's only one brace on each side, and that is just to take the tension. I'm not sure which side of this gate we're going to put, of this opening, we're going to put the gate either swing this way or swing this way. It depends on how it works to back the trailer in here to load them up. So we'll figure that out later, throw the extra brace on whatever side, and then hang our gate when it comes to that point. So we'll worry about that later, but I'll show you another issues we had. Oh, the other issue we had is why we did that 60 foot right there. We started from this corner and went that way with just a 60 foot piece because I couldn't take the brace off to pull the wire out that way because every wire unrolled this way. So luckily we had a piece that was 60 feet that went that way. We tensioned it that way, which was the opposite, and we wrapped it from that corner, tensioned it that way. And then this one here came this way, and then we tensioned it off. So just something to keep in mind. That's the same thing we did up in this corner. Here's our other splice right here. This one came out really nice because I knew to take the wire tensioner and pull this corner together to try and take up the slack in the bottom, because this whole section is so flat through here that this ended up really nice. I mean, that's a pretty nice little splice through there. So worked out good. This is the section you guys would have seen Mom and Dad helping work on this. This was our last section. We just cranked this out on Saturday evening, get it done. And this section up here was another one. We had like 160 feet, so we just worked from the top down. And then the other footage went over, the other length went over there. That's why that splice came from. So, because we can't go through that barbed wire fence. I wasn't about to take that barbed wire fence or that rail down to pull it that way. All we gotta do is start from this corner today and roll our wire up to that brace at the top there. And then from that top down to there. And then this will be set up for the ram boys. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing, this is a 10-foot brace. This is a 12-foot opening. That's a 10-foot, 10-foot, 10-foot. This is set here in case we ever want to have a gate at every corner. So we could eventually put a gate in here, and then that's easy to move livestock around if they break through the fences and whatnot, but they shouldn't. This here is 10 foot, but I do have the spacing to relocate some of these posts back to a little bit tighter, and then we can put a 12 foot here so that we can drive straight through to the other side of the field that we'll be working on later. The end goal is to have this road break here, this fire break, be able to be driven the whole way around the perimeter of the property, and then just open this gate, open that gate, drive straight through and drive the whole perimeter as a fire break. So that's why there's 12 foot going through at almost every corner on our interior cross fencing. So this barbed wire fence, I rebuilt it last year. Brought a bunch of fill into this area because there was an easy, not just a road when this was a quarter. So this was just a surface road, or where the neighbors were doing some work up there. Well, I guess his kid was doing some work up there. So unfortunately, when they cut this through here, you can see how low it went. So there's a bunch of fill in here to bring this fence somewhat even all the way through up into the hill. And then you can see I can sort of cut this hill here that used to come right out here. I cut that down and then pushed the fill over so that you can easily drive. I can drive the big dump truck up and down here, which I was doing. So, but this is where we're going to do our termination for this one side that we just walked here. We're going to pull the fence to that corner and we're going to wrap it around here, and then we'll start our next fence that goes this way off of this corner, and we'll pull it that way, or we'll hook off of that corner and we'll pull it this way. Probably be easier to pull this side this way because I can't take that corner down now that's got a fence or wire on it. So makes sense. So we'll pull from that corner this way, and then we'll wrap off of that corner and pull it this way. Then we can just anchor the post pounder or something, or the tractor bucket, and use that as our anchor to pull off of. So, but this will be it, and we're going to put more of our rough terrain fence on here because it goes down and then comes up again. So the rough terrain fence will be better for this. So anyways, off we go again. Okay, so now we're back here. More rocks for filling the gaps in along here. This is all wet through here, so I put a bunch of fill in here and it still sinks a little bit. I mean, you can see how dark the soil is there. There's just moisture back here like crazy. So, as you can see, because the fence is here, I can't pull a spool through there, the roll of wire that way, so I've got to start from here and work up. So, gates, again, this is another 12-foot opening with 10s on either side to brace it, so in case something gets down into this lower area here, say there's cows loose or something, or we got to evacuate for a fire, we can throw in a fence here or clip the wire right here and open this up, and then the wildlife can escape through here, or we could put in a gate here and then move the animals through. This is also a 12-foot opening, so again, you can clip through here, or we could put a gate in here, would be more ideal, and then the livestock can move through if they're on this side and need to move to there. So get it? Dig it? Cool. So now we're just heading back. Ooh. But yeah, look at how dark the soil is here. There's so much moisture in this area. Anyways, we're just about back at the start. Or I guess where we started. So that was it. Just check the fence all out there. Show you that we did actually get it done. So this is Ram-Catraz, or Ram-Catraz, I guess. This should be plenty secure for the big boys. And yeah, I mean, we did do it. It was a hard push, and now it's just sort of the small little things that we got to do. So that fence along the back is a big thing, but it's still a small thing. Gonna go back to the truck. I'm gonna unload my pallets and stack those up for putting the water on. I got the garden hose that goes on the end for filling their water tank. I've got the gate that needs to come out, and we need to go move that equipment out of there. So I'm gonna get on all of that. And I think the last thing I do is going to be run this wire, because my hands are just completely, they're still chewed up and discolored and just swollen right up from doing the wire. All right, so we got the equipment trucked out of here. Got my gate set up, just resting there. We got the pallets out. We got the wires moved all back. Ready to start kicking the wire out and unroll that stuff at the far end. Then we run into a situation normal, all fucked up. So I'm gonna take you out there and show you. I'm just sitting here in the shade on my lawn furniture that we bring out back. And yeah, a little bit of a snafu. The problem with running two different brands of rolls of wire, not so much a problem if I'd known about it, but yeah, now it's a problem. So why don't we take a look and I'll show you what's gone on there. All right, here we are. Small holes at the bottom, gradually gets bigger. This is a different brand of wire. It's actually the rugged terrain. You can see how it's got the crimps here. So as one wire gets tighter along the top and the bottom one's looser, you can tension the top out till the crimps sort of flatten out, but the bottom will still have those crimps and it'll keep the wire somewhat flat. That's what this is, and it's a different brand. But as you can see, this unrolls like this way, and the reel's supposed to go that way. This wire here, that's basically, it's not that rugged terrain, it's just smooth along the top and the bottom, so there's no crimps in it. It unrolled this way. So technically, this one here, you'd start in this corner and roll it that way. This stuff here, we've been working this way with the assumption that every roll's the same, and we'd run that way. So this one here would have to come up from our braceway back there and roll this way, but I can't run it through here to tension it. So I still need to do this and roll it this way, which might mean putting the top right here about 4 feet out, roll it out that way, and then just once we get it all rolled out, flip the wire over. Is probably the best way to go. Not a big deal, but it had to be something. Just had to be something. But this roll last year was actually $50 cheaper than this roll we bought this year. This stuff here is now over $100 more per roll than it was even in February. So anyways, this is what we're dealing with right now. I think I'm gonna actually roll it out that way and then just flip it over so that I can still do the plan I had where I'm tightening it off of this corner and then pulling it out that other one. So. Pony Express. We're gonna run it over and get ready to load the boys after lunch. I'm gonna see you guys in a minute. I'm just getting onto the main road, so I don't want to be filming or being distracted. Automatic gate opener. There's sheep wire on there, and then there's a barbed wire, so she's got to do both of them before we open this. We're gonna back the trailer right up beside that shed there, so that we can swing the panels out and the boys can run straight into it. Make sense? Clear as mud. Knick-knack, paddywhack. Almost got it. I'll just go forward here and then I'll swing the back end straight up into there. I could also just do a big circle and then come out, but I don't want to do that. Okay, anyways, good. I'll start backing it up. So just make sure this door opens up sort of towards that side. Do you guys even know what's going on? Do you guys know this means going to grass? Grass, grass, or grass? Rams want to eat the heat. I think if I start backing it up, this should start to space out. So another 4 feet, I think. Hey?
Close this so that we don't
Yeah, close that. Yeah, otherwise we jam it and break it. No, close her up. They know. They know, no. They know, no.
Okay, we'll catch you guys when we're done.
What's up, Bobby? Bubbo. Stanley Saurus. Okay. So I take that wire off there, swing this out to this side, run you guys in, out you go. We'll take 2 panels here, tie it to the side of the trailer so we can close off the one gate that we don't have the wire for yet. And then we'll come back and grab these panels to make your nighttime pen. That doesn't sound too happy. Boomers. Oh, and then you're gonna grab Rodney and walk him out, right? we're out of here. Boys are loaded in the trailer. Carrie's walking Rodney across. We got some panels on the side of the trailer for closing up the one gate that we don't have the wire yet for. Everything should be secure enough to get these little fat buggers onto grass. But we finish up securing the rest of it, so. There they are right there. Just gonna go slow because it's Rodney. We don't want to spook the little dude or spook the horses down because it'll be scary. Larry doesn't like Rodney, so we don't want Larry to come down here and chase him while Carrie's walking him. So we'll just take our time. I'll just check in here and make sure they're doing good. Still good? Good? I'll just head out then. I did see Larry and the horses up their road where our equipment is, so hopefully they stay way out that way. So we're just at the intersection, parcel B, parcel A this way. We're gonna pull these panels off and I'm gonna throw them in that gateway right there because we're loading everybody out the back one. This one we're not gonna use right now. So I'm just gonna strip these off and tie them up so in case Rodney does a crazy run, he doesn't find an exit there. The Rams will take a while to get to this exit, but we gotta make sure Rodney don't get out because he's an honorary Ram this year. This is the first time I've backed this trailer down this one. I've driven it all over the rest of the property. We've never actually gone down this parcel B on our place here. So this is new. Oh, that's probably a U-joint. Sounds like a U-joint. I got bad U-joint on this and I'm getting distracted with the U-joint so much that I'm backing up a little shittier. Sorry, I gotta focus on backing up. Looks like Carrie's got the hot rod in. I'm gonna move my trailer out a little bit to get that corner. There we go. I'm gonna move the trailer out from the edge a little bit. I've been coming down where it's smoother, but we gotta back it out into the middle a little bit more to get that spot where I want to put it. Trying to get it right in that area there. That's where we want to go. Oop. See if I can line this up. Super trucker. Can I do it? Ooh, nope. Nope, turning too sharp. I gotta go forward. I gotta let go too hard. Hey Rod, just tie him up for now. Okay. Yeah, this should work. We'll open the door to that spot there. I'll grab this side of this. What am I doing here? Oh, you got it? Why am I videoing this? Okay. This should be okay if I stand here, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's lawn furniture there? Okay.
Then I'll go and get Rodney.
Okay.
I gotta open that door, don't I? I can get Rodney and bring him here, I guess. And then...
You could also let the Rams go and then let Rodney go. He's not... The Rams are just gonna drop their heads as soon as they hit the grass. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I think he's okay there, or should I...
I think he might be okay. Let's let these Rams out. They're gonna be... I'll stay here, you open the gate.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm staying here. That's it. This will be good enough for now. It's just tied up. Happy boys. And Rodney's over there doing good. Happy boys. There is some pine or fir tops up in there from when we had to build those rails, so happy boys.
Yeah.
I do have to go in and finish my rope or my wire at the back, but while these guys are distracted over here, Care, maybe we should take the trailer back and get their panels.
Yeah.
So you can set up panels and stuff here while I do the wire at the back. It looks good seeing you guys all secure in there. That's what you want to see. I'm definitely going to get that back fence line done.
Rodney?
Yeah, he's being a Rodney.
This is why he lost the donkeys. He would find a spot and just eat, and the donkeys would wander off, and he would then freak out. So he's now taken over here, and the rams are wandering.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't going super far from the
And they're not even eating the grass. They're going after the leaves first.
Yeah, they want the aspen trees.
And whatever the heck that thing is, what these guys got up here.
I think that's the aspen bush. I think. Could be Saskatoon tree.
It's probably Saskatoon. But
He is kind of moving towards them a little bit. I don't know.
not in the least. This field is for sure 100% Rodney proof. I just got to get off to that backside and do the ram proof, right, Mr. Curly? They're just getting crazy in here. There's a lot of room to run for these guys.
Yeah, they haven't had that much room for a while.
We'll get this trailer parked and get back here with panels, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's just go do that. Okay, we'll see you guys in a minute. We're gonna go on to the next stage. Hey, Rod.
Oh, there's no poops here.
Where'd they go?
Where are your Ramalama ding dongs?
Look for wool on this. Easy, my little man.
I don't see any wool on the barbed wires.
Wild pony.
Don't worry, Rodney, I don't want to catch you.
You can't know. There's nothing along here, and this is where it ends up here, and then there's at least some wire up.
Yeah, there's no wool on the barbed wire.
Okay. No, and then this has fence all the way. Not great, but it's at least on there, so.
There they are. They're in the shade of where their building's gonna go.
Oh, so they were with the little whitetail in here.
You guys had a little deer friend, did ya? Where did your little deer friend go?
She's hanging out with them because she was just right in here when we brought the truck out.
You got a little deer friend, do ya? Hi,
Hi,
boys.
fat boys. I hear the mama's calling over there. Yeah, she was just standing right in here.
Hi.
You guys are doing well.
You guys been around the whole...
I think they have.
I don't know where your little deer friend went, but you guys are not letting me do my plan.
To kick her out? Yeah, you were gonna open this and try and push her out.
Open this and try and push her to it, but she's A, gone, and B, they're here, so
She can jump this wire if she really wants to.
yeah.
Okay.
You could also go and sneak through the barbed wire in the far corner where you haven't got the mesh up yet.
Yeah.
So she could get out of here if she really wanted to. Oh yes, the truck.
So now, yeah, I'm just gonna go work on this wire because we need the tractor to move that hay, or move the water around.
Yeah.
So, the truck is just gonna park out here. I might just shove it up that, or just leave it where it is. Just leave it where it is.
I wonder where it is. I wouldn't drive it too much.
No, I don't want to break that seal out too much and do damage to the transfer case. So,
So it's just gonna be there until,
like a new carrier bearing and seal, yeah.
yeah, and then we'll get it home.
Okay, well, I'm off this way to go do the wire. I'm gonna go up there and finish the wire, and you're gonna
I'm
go,
gonna go
do
work
their-
on the panels and get their
Okay.
thing set up back there.
yeah, because they could probably use the water looking at how hot they look.
Yeah.
So we'll get this going so we can get the water moving as quick here.
Yeah.
Okay, off we go, Breek. I'll see you in a bit. Carrie putting up staples over there so we can get this done. So I'm just gonna loop this around and tie it off. Zoe, she can't hear.
Hi.
Hello.
I can't stand and staple up there.
Too tight? Okay, why don't I get this wrapped here and then... Okay. Well, oh, you can get it down, but you can't do both. Okay. I'm gonna finish tying this corner off because then if there's any slack in it, we'll be able to step it down there. Does that make sense?
I can get these ones that are closed
Okay.
down.
Okay, sounds good. We'll just keep working at it. I'm gonna get this tied off then. Last corner on the boys' fence. We just basically laid this against for the night and stapled it up, but we're finished from that corner down. As you see, I got to kind of do this a little bit different because I can't run the wire all the way through here to tighten it down. Maybe I mentioned that yesterday, I don't know. Yesterday we did get the boys locked in. Maybe you'll have seen that. I'm not sure exactly what you'll have seen here. We kind of had a catastrophic failure on the truck. I guess not really catastrophic. We had a problem on the truck and it actually had to stay out back here because we couldn't drive it out front without risk of damaging it anymore. So I'm just going to finish doing this. But what we're doing is I'm going to tighten it to this point here. And then from here over, we're going to use the barbed wire stretcher to pull the wire so that I can wrap it around and make sure it's tight. I figure that's probably the best way to go. The boys were fairly secure in here through the night. Back at their little area set up there. We just brought the shed in this morning. We did some repairs on their little lean-to shed and now it's in here. What else did we do? They got their water out here now too. So because the truck is down, in order to move the water, I got a trailer hitch for the tractor. So we've been using this to move the water. It's an extremely hot one today. So yeah, well, I'm going to finish this here and get this done so I don't have to do any more wire and the whole perimeter is completely finished. The next thing after that is I got to pull the drive shafts and stuff out of the truck. I'll do that in a separate video, maybe do that the day after of this video. And then what we still have to do is keep moving forward and getting ready for the Classic. But the next big projects on this pen here will be to take these pink markers here for our rotational grazing pens and cut straight through the trees behind me, right through here, right through there, back to where their holding pen is supposed to be. I'm going to tell you a little something funny here. So even though the boys' pen is set up in this corner here, they are actually over where their pen is going to be, hanging out. So we did pick the right spot to put them at because they really want to just hang out over there because this is the south here. So the sun comes over. That whole other side of that fence line is all in the shade. So we did pick the right area, and that's some stuff I guess I didn't think about, is making sure they're in the shade there. The only downside to that is we're going to have to clear an area because I want to put a solar panel over there to make sure their water constantly is pumping up to fill their water tank that we put in their pen, and just some lighting for if we have any problems with predators, we can put a light on or a radio because that helps keep predators out. Again, mitigation stuff. You might see this video after the predator mitigation video with the dog kills. If not, that'll be after this one. So anyways, I'm gonna get to work here. I'm gonna set you guys up to watch as we hopefully I got enough space on this this distance here to bring this fence to stand up, but I'm gonna just put you on and you can watch us stand that up because this is the last fence. Might as well catch as much installation as you can. That's a bit disappointing. We ran out of ability to pull that tight there. So you did see how that lifted straight up. It still has more to go because you can see, so it should be straight from the top down, but you see it comes over the hill and just sags down. Shouldn't sag down. That means it's too loose and it's still got a lot of weight in the middle. Not tension just yet. I'm gonna go check the splice we put in. Yeah, the splice isn't too bad right here. But anyways, here's the rough terrain type fence. You see these little dibbles here? And then here's the stuff that we've put up everywhere else. This is a much nicer fence to put in, but it's a lot more expensive than this one. And we can tighten this one up and make it work. We can just take the fencing pliers and twist them and it'll tighten the bottom up. So not a big deal, but that's looking pretty good. I don't mind that splice right there. The problem is this one is technically 42 inches and this one is 41 inches. So there's a difference in height. So trying to join the two of them together, you're gonna have a bit of a mess up there. But I'm hoping if we ratchet this down tight enough, we can make it work. Because you can see how this is sort of pulled at an angle. That's because this height here is actually having to shrink down as it comes towards this fence here. Just by 1 inch. So that much right there, my thumb distance. So, but it looks good. It's still going to be sturdy because the coyotes are literally right in this white junk around here. I don't know if they are anymore. I'm not too sure if the coyotes are still in there because yesterday when I was working here, right in the bush right here, I had a whitetail just taking a nap almost the entire time I was working. And then if she's afraid or there's a predation load in this area, they're not going to just hang out here. With the fence we did put up, don't worry, we did not endanger the wildlife here. That whitetail could clear this like nobody's business. She was a little bit spooked out when we first put Rodney and the rams in because she's had this whole area that we fenced off for like 2 days all to herself. But she's going to have to just learn how to share now with the big daddies and Rodney. I got to get back to work and reposition this thing here so that we can take up the rest of the slack. But you see from this point to here, I'm going to have to get creative with the wire. The yellow thing on the ground right there, I'm just going to have to use that. I just can't figure any other way around it. The reason why I should have started at this corner and pulled all the way up to the hill there and then use that brace to pull that way. But the problem is I wanted that rough fence, rough terrain fence. I wanted to use as much of that as possible on that top of that hill there. So in order to do that, I had to tie it off at the top and then splice it down here. That way we've got the most of that we're using as possible on that hill. If I tightened it up from here up to where that was, we probably would have lost about 30 feet, 25 or 30 feet of it as we were tensioning that end. Just the nature of how the wire pulls and as we tighten it down. So in order to use that, I'm taking a chance that I actually might know what I'm doing over here. All right, back at it. Let's tighten it all stuff up. So that seems tight enough. I know there's a bit of a sag there, but I do have to pull it down an extra. That's about 8 inches or so through there that needs to be pulled down, and that'll really tighten it up. So I think I'm gonna go from this point here now and try and tighten and wrap my wires around this end. So I'm gonna start unrolling that and getting it to that point. So this is the plan. See, that holds tension from that point up. And then I come here, whoop, and I clip and wrap, but I pulled it tight with that, so that's super tight. So that's the plan, to do all 10 of these wires. And I think that should work. I think. It's the only way I'm gonna do it though. So we started here in this corner on the first video for Ram-Catraz. Calling it Ram-Catraz because it's like Ram-Alcatraz. I know it's not a prison, but it kind of is. It's to keep the things out, but to keep them in. So there's probably a better word. Fort Knox, Ram Knox. It sounds like a transformer. But anyways, I'm gonna try and get this corner finished. Sorry for the crooked angle, I'm just too. Then I'm gonna go back and get a drink here. I think I was supposed to take something to the front. Oh, a couple of logs got to go up front. Sorry, I'm rambling. But then I'm going to go back for a drink and lunch here. But I'm going to just try and get this corner tied in. And then when we come back, we'll finish stapling everything. And this fence line and this field on this property, this field is done. It's got a 20-foot fire break or access road around it. Everything's cleared back. All the fences on 3 sides are 10-foot spaced, minus this one behind us. Like, this thing is secure. This is a nice, safe field. We're not doing the rotational grazing on this with the different cells this year, because the goal is just to get the main fences like this done. Maybe we'll go through, if I just don't want to be running machines or the machines need a break, and we'll chop out the fence lines to, geez, the bugs are bugging me because I'm so sweaty. We'll chop out the fence lines through the trees so we get all our 5 or 10 foot wide access lanes for running the electric temporary fencing to separate out their different cells for rotational. And these rams will definitely be rotational next spring, and on this soon enough that it'll be good. The other thing we need to do is this alleyway, or this access fire break and this access fire break, they need good topsoil applied. So thankfully our manure pile is just on the other side of the easement from where we are, so we should easily be able to grab that and lay down a nice thick slow moving coat of manure on all of this. And that will also help to, I'm just going to turn this way because of the brightness of the light there. That'll also help to add a moisture retention into both of these perimeters here, which will aid in, if we ever have to do a fire break, that'll allow the growth of the grasses through here. So that'll be good for the rams for their grazing, but it'll also promote that retention of moisture. So if we have to start watering this, if there's a fire, the soil should retain that moisture and help a little bit in at least preventing the fire if we have to. Small fires, not large scale rank 5, 6, just destructive force in nature, but like small fires. So yeah, I'm just gonna get this finished here so I can go to lunch, because I'm probably rambling right now because I am thirsty and hungry. So I'll catch you guys probably after lunch. Ta-da! It's fenced all the way around, it's pulled tight. Our plan there to tighten to that point and then use a wire tightener actually worked not terrible. Probably a little bit loose, but I mean, I did really crank it down, so maybe not loose, but not super tight. But like I said, we can put the, I'll show you guys. If we find it starts to get too loose, we take the fencing pliers and you just stick it on the wire with these holes here. And you just put it on there and then you give it a twist. So you just grab a hole and you'll twist it that way. And what you'll do is you'll pull the wire together and make a little knot. And that's how you take the tension out of that. And you can do that every section. I'd probably just start one here, one in the middle of that one, one in the middle of that one, all the way up and down until I get them tight as I like. But considering I gotta now go up to this section and pull it down and staple it in, because we're just up to staples, I'm not gonna bore you with those details. I'm gonna get stapling this whole thing up, and then it's just moving stuff around and doing that drive shaft on the truck, getting it out so we can get parts ordered. We did it, yay. Long overdue. I actually got water this time. Made it out back. So we're long overdue for getting this done, but now it's secure. The boys are chilling with Rodney way down there. I don't know if we can't zoom in this way. No, they're just chilling with Rodney in the shed. There'll be a picture up on Instagram and maybe Twitter and Facebook. So go over there, check them out. They're all getting along wicked. So I'm gonna go staple this and catch you guys on whatever the heck else we're doing here.